All right, we are just about ready to start the proceeding here in the run chase. Just want to say welcome to the park for those viewers.
So, Ivor, thank you. As we see the two opening batsmen out in the middle. Yashib Rajpar, who has scored coming in to today's quarterfinal, the highest individual score of 97. That has now been passed by Rizwan Chima, who slammed 122. And we'll try to get a sense of where does Rizwan Chima stands in this tournament in terms of aggregate runs as we watch Sarab Netravalka. He makes a start, ball down the leg side, turned in to the onside towards the final leg area. We'll wait for the signal from the umpire. In fact, leg by is the call. And so that has gone away for 4 leg byes. A ball heading down the leg side, and Netravalka perhaps getting it. In fact, Rajpar would have getting a touch on the equipment, and the ball runs away towards the fine leg area for 4. So a good start here by Falcons. They need 261 from 119 balls, and a big score posted by Houston Stallions with the news that 122 was scored by Rizwan Chima, and certainly the likes of Negi came in with a useful half century down the order. As Netravalka bowls a dot ball here to Rajpar, and he remains, he's yet to get off the mark, and his partner is Abdullah Sheikh out at the non-striker end. So things are not really looking good here for Falcons, but like anything else, if they should pull off a chase here, it will be one of the greatest T20 chase perhaps ever witnessed in this ground, or maybe in the U.S. Open. You never know what can happen. Here is Netravalka, and that's a ball that is a good ball, pitched on a good length, and Rajpar is defensive. Ball goes up towards the onside, and I'll quickly bring in Ivor Henry here. Not too sure if you've seen a massive chase of 264.
Not on this ground, and I haven't seen it on any grounds here in South Florida. And like you said, it will be historical, and it would be viewed on ESPN3 for those who are outside of the park. And again, he comes in. This one is in the air, and the man is getting on it and takes the catch. So the first wickets have fallen in the one chase, and we are hoping for a humdinger here, but that's not the way it's turning out to be. First over, first wicket.
Yes, Ivor, and Rajpar came into this today's game with some bit of repetition, having scored the highest individual score. That has now been passed by 25 by Rizwan Chima, and he falls quite cheaply here. In fact, he hasn't added any score on the board, and so he is gone, and Falcons in even more deeper trouble now. They're 4 for 1, chasing a massive total of 265.
And if he has any chance of overtaking Chima, he has got to win this game and go on to the other one, or else his individual tally will remain the same as it is now.
So it appears Rakesh Solanki has made his way out in the middle. And quite a daunting task here for the Falcons. They haven't bowled well, or maybe batted out of the game by certainly Rizwan Chima, who slammed 122, and ably supported by the likes of, in fact, quite a few batsmen got among the runs. Hamza Tariq, he got 64. Negi got 51, and we saw a very big partnership, an opening partnership of 185 posted by Tariq and certainly Rizwan Chima. And what a daunting task here, as Falcons have lost a wicket already. So they're under pressure. They have been under pressure for all 20 overs in the cricket field. And now when it's time to bat, they haven't started very well at all.
And here it is, the dot goes in the book. So a good start from the southern end here.
Yes.
The left armer.
Yes, Ivor, and just to give you a sense of what T20 chases are from a record standpoint, a year or so ago, West Indies playing South Africa, and South Africa made 231 in T20 International, and West Indies chased that down for I think 6 wickets. Another wicket will go down here, and Solanki is gone. So things haven't really gone Falcons' way at all. They were able to concede 264, and now they're struggling at 4 for 2.
Yes, indeed. But last night we would have witnessed some 4 wickets for 7 runs. It's not the beginning, but it's the end. So we have to keep that in mind. I'll just say this, Lenny. It is early days yet.
So Ivor, just to come back to some T20 international chase, successful chase, certainly between the West Indies and South Africa. South Africa making 231. And West Indies were able to chase that down thanks to Chris Gayle, who got 90. So 4 for 2 here. Falcons struggling. As we see, number 16 goes out. And the other game, Ivor, maybe we can get a early start for the other game, the way things are going here.
Well, I guess you'll have to make a call to the hotel to get the guys them in here because the schedule has been set based on time. So if it's going to be an early start, we'll have to get the umpires, officials, and everyone in on time. So we have Samuels working that. He's been doing a very good job speeding up things, like a good old pilot leaving late on the ground and making up time in the air and get you there safely and in a hurry. Umpire Samuels, that's the man.
So Samuel Badri has been given the ball, and you sense that that the Stallions are not letting up here. They brought on one of the better T20 bowlers in the world, Samuel Badri, and they're not letting up here at all. They amassed 264, and they're not taking this match lightly. They brought on one of the top leg spinner in the world in Samuel Badri.
I think Samuel Badri wants to go shopping. So, you know, the winner stays and the loser, they also will go shopping or they'll go to the beach. And they can stay if they want to and keep our company. But Samuel Badri, this is his favorite ground because here's where he made his debut in international cricket, right here at Central Board Regional Park.
So Abdullah Sheikh is yet to get off the mark, and so is Cameron Sheikh. And boy, I'll tell you, during the course of a couple of dismissals here for Falcons, they've thrown our scorers and certainly our big scoring team here into a sense of chaos, as we have scampered to get names quite quickly here. And I don't believe in the adage that when a batsman is dismissed quite early, he hasn't troubled the scorer. Well, I'll tell you something. I've done a lot of scoring, and I'll tell you, when a batsman gets out earlier, a couple of them, there's a lot of work to be done from a scoring perspective. It's 5 for 2.
So what about the myth that he did not trouble the scorer?
Well,
That's a myth?
Wait until it comes to darkness here, and then, of course, our good friends here, Brianna and certainly David, will be taking out the binocs and making sure that they get all the players by their shirt numbers. Me, I take the shortcut. Every batsman that is out in my app gets bowled. In that way, you don't have to bring in no fielders at all because it's quite a hassle to pick up a man in the dark. Maybe one of the things we'll need to tell the people who are preparing the uniforms here for US Open, make the numbers on both sides of the body, front and back, because a lot of time we're looking for the back of the shirt, but the guy will not turn around.
And the worst if he puts on a sweater in hot Florida without a number.
So Saurabh Netravalkar, we can pick him up. He's number 13. His back is facing us, and we're on the shorter point with him right now. He will come into bowl to Abdullah Sheikh. And Falcons are struggling here, having given up 260-plus runs. And whether or not they can pull off one of the largest run chase in U.S. Open T20 history, we'll have to wait and see. But as Vinod and certainly Shaw was on the microphone, 185 for the first wicket has to be a record. And if it is not, I would want to see a better record than 185 posted for the first wicket. So it's 6 for 2 here. Saurabh Netravalkar. Bowls to Sheikh. Sheikh can't score. Ball goes up towards the offside, and there is no run. And Ivor, here's another bit of stats for you. So in this match so far, in the innings of Stallions, they slammed 18 sixes, of course, led by Rizwan Chima. So 18 sixes in this innings. the highest number of sixes struck in a T20 international innings is 21 by RCB. Well, not a T20 international, but a T20 game in the IPL by RCB. 21 sixes, so we are very close with Rizwan Cheema and Hamza Tariq. They slammed 18 sixes today, so RCB 21 sixes, just 3 ahead of our local total here. But here is the other part of an interesting fact. The second best, also 21 sixes, was struck on this very ground by West Indies as they played in a couple months ago. So a bit of interesting stat right here on this Central Broward Regional Park. And I'll tell you, the likes of Johnson Charles, he along with Evan Lewis struck 9. Johnson Charles struck 7. We had a couple from Pollard and Russell. And we had a 6 from somebody down West Indies order, but there were 21 sixes struck on this ground. So this ground does hold a bit of record in international perspective, and that's the India-West Indies game in August right here. So ball played up towards the square leg area, and Abdullah Sheikh picks up a 4. He goes up to 5. It's 11 for 2.
Yeah, and that's the first boundary, and at least he is on the same score as extras, 5. The 2 top scores in this game, extras and the opening batsman. Could you believe it?
So whether or not Falcons can strike 21-6 and equal the record by the West Indies, we'll have to wait and see. But 11 for 2, so this ground already in the very infant stage of hosting international event is in the record books. So ball getting an outside edge. Good bowling here from Sarav Netravalka. And he completes his second over. It's 12 for 2.
Yeah, that one dropping just short of the slip fielder. And he eluded his grasp and went down to the third man for a single. So 12 for some 2 wickets. And like we said, Shaikh, he is on 6. 2 names are the same. Are they related by any means?
Not too sure. We weren't given that information. You're right. There's K.M. Sheikh. And, of course, there's Abdullah Sheikh. And, in fact, there's a Cameron Sheikh. So, in fact, could be 3 Sheikhs in the lineup here for Falcons.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, they need to get steady.
In fact, we're told by our score there are 4.
4 Sheikhs? Oh, my goodness.
Well, it can't be the Patel boys. The Patel, the team of 11 Patel, and none of them related.
Well, we had the Mohammeds here in South Florida, a team of some 8 or 7 of them. But we need to get these Sheikhs, and we need to get them steady. Too many Sheikhs.
So Stallions are not taking anything for granted. They're certainly using Samuel Badri to full effect here. He comes in to bowl his second over. And, of course, Ivor Samuel Badri is known around the world. He's a top leg spinner at the international level. And, in fact, just a couple of years ago, he was the best, by stats-wise, he was the best T20 bowler around.
And that's in the world.
It's in the world. And, of course, he's a very sought-after bowler. Signed up with Big Bash. He plays certainly in the other Premier Leagues around the country. CPL, of course, his own CPL tournament that is happening in the West Indies. And so we'd like to remind our viewers 3 other big games coming up later on. U.S. All-Stars will take on Florida Strikers at 12:45 p.m. Indian Lions will take on 22 Yards at 4 p.m. And the Sharks will be swimming on dry land when they make their way later on tonight. They will take on Al Mashafi out of Afghanistan. So stay tuned. A lot of cricket left in today's play.
Yes, well, the proceeding got underway this morning a little later than the scheduled time. But like I say, we'll make it up along the way because I think this game is going to be a shortened game. Either way, either they're going to get these runs on the counter or they're going to be dismissed. I don't think that the Houston boys are going to want to spend all 20 overs. But Samuel Badri, like I said, he opened the bowling here for West Indies when he made his debut. And for quite some time, he was the opening bowler for West Indies, even though he was bowling spin every time he would have played for West Indies.
Yes, Ivor, I remember last year he was doing an interview right here. I'm not too sure if you heard the interview, but he was asked by the interviewer about his favorite ground, and yes, he he quickly, without hesitation, says this ground here because he remembers it quite vividly. This is where he played his first T20 match for the West Indies. So you're right on that. And I've got to say, cricketers have very, very good memory. Years after, they'll remember something quite vivid. So ball pulled through the onside as Cameron Sheikh gets into the act. A lovely shot through the onside. And he picks up a boundary. He goes up to 6. It's 18 for 2.
Yeah, that ball had good lift. It was a lively delivery, but at least the batter got on top of it, hit it into the vacant mid-wicket region. We're still into the power play, so no more than 2 fielders can be outside of the 30-yard circle. And we would have seen one stationed in the third man region and one at the fine leg position. And that's because this ball is bowling quite with a bit of venom. But this time the batter got the better of him. But they're going to need a lot more of those.
So lots of viewers are listening around the world. We just got a text from someone who's watching the broadcast, and not too sure if it's a message out of Canada, but they're wanting to know that with Rizwan Chima slamming 121, where does he stand as with players with some of the with aggregate runs in the tournament? Earlier on, we did tell you that Farhat is leading the pack with 162 runs. Well, here's some good news for you. Rizwan Chima is up second, but still we are hoping that they will play again with 264 posted here. Can't see them losing, so you've got to say Rizwan Chima still very much alive. It's 141, and you've got to probably put an asterisk next to his name. He could be still alive in this tournament. So Farhat leads the pack coming into today's match. He's on 162. Farhat will come a little later on today, so he will play. Rizwan Chima is 151. Rohan Mohite, 118. Brian Gale, whether or not we'll see him today, I think he's carded to be in the stadium today. He's on 113. And Srimanta Vegetaratne, he's on 112. So certainly Rizwan Chima, he's just trailing by 21 runs between Farhat, and both of these players will be playing later on today. In fact, Chima would have already played, and we'll have to wait and see what Farhat does when he comes into the stadium, Ivor.
Yes, and they're going to be an overall player of the tournament. So we'll check the wicket column as well to see where they fare in terms of batting. So we just can't look at just the batters. We have to look at the bowlers as well, and maybe even some of the catchers, the stumpers.
Certainly, Ivor, we will try to gather up all that information during the course of today. Certainly, as Vinod mentioned, the tournament has certainly got into the business end. This one is hammered away through the offside of the bat of Abdullah Sheikh. He goes up to 11. Cameron Sheikh is on 7, is 23 for 2.
Yes, he's taking a liking to this bowler at this time. He gave him the charge and hit it over the infield, and the way she goes down to the boundary for a boundary.
So 23 for 2. Abdullah Sheikh is on 11. Cameron Sheikh is on 7. And it's 23 for 2. We are in the 5th over being bowled here by Sarav Netravalka. And he will come in here representing Houston Stallions. But you've got to say that that Stallions are well on course here to perhaps get into the semi.
Yes.
So ball turned into the onside. That completes over number 5. It's 24 for 2.
And that is the latest score at Central Broward Regional Park. Again, for the viewers who are here, we welcome you. I would have hoped you would have had a good Thanksgiving. And I hope you did not leave your pockets dry when you would have given your madam and your, what should I say, your other halves all your money to go shopping on Black Friday. Here might have been a better place to spend it Black Friday, but be as it may, we are welcoming you here today, Saturday, and tell the folks to come on in. There are plenty of seats here. And it's cricket, lovely cricket. U.S. Council Cricket in its 8th year. And we have to say kudos to Mark Qureshi, the engine behind all of this. And again, we just want to big up ESPN Free for coming on board for the first time this year.
So Yogesh Kumar giving the ball here. And Ivor Henry, you sense that Stallions are behaving like seasoned pro. they're not giving anything away. They've brought on certainly their top gun. We've already seen Netravalka bowl. We've seen Badri bowl. And sometimes you thought with 264 posted that they might go lightly on Falcons, but they've certainly played the game how it's supposed to play. And like season pro, they have gone on and played as if they're playing a very, very big game here. It is 26 for 2. Abdullah Sheikh is on 13. Cameron Sheikh is on 8.
So we would have witnessed a century and a couple of 50s, and sooner or later you're going to tell us how many bowlers got into the 50s.
Well, we'll have to wait a while on that. That will take some bit of tabulation, but I think a couple of bowlers...
No, in this game.
Across the half century, I think a couple of bowlers, or maybe one got up to 49. In fact, 3. And so we were told that 3 bowlers on the bad end of the stick went for 50, in addition to 122 posted by...
But why would you call it bad? I thought the people normally applaud 50s.
Well, as a bowler, you wouldn't want to go for 50 in any cricket match unless you're playing test match cricket and you've bowled 50-plus overs. Then that's good bowling. But not in a T20 match.
All right, I got you. So in a T20 match, they only afford you some 4 overs from a 20 overs?
24 balls, actually. 24 balls to bowl. If you're giving away 50 runs, then the team will be on par to score 275 runs, 260 runs, as we saw. So ball edged away, beats the outside edge of Cameron Abdullah Sheikh, and it goes away for 4. He goes up to 18-9 to Cameron Sheikh. It's 32 for 2.
Yes, well, he's the top scorer in this inning so far, and no other has gone into double figures. But Extras keeping company and keeping pace is on 5.
So U.S. All-Stars takes on Florida Strikers at 12:45 p.m. Indian Lions will come up against 22 yards. And as far as we know, at 4 p.m. and Miami Sharks will take on Al Masafi. And that game is slated for a 8 p.m. start.
So you're not missing any cricket, as I think there's going to be a bowling change from the southern end, or just beneath us, the pavilion ends. More spin bowling.
So Nagy is the bowler. And Nagy himself helped himself with a quick 50. And I'll quickly saw the assistance here of our scorers. I think Nagy slammed 50 in about 17 or 18 balls. He got there quite quickly. But here he is, bowling to Cameron Sheikh, and the ball is played back to the bowler. Score remains. So 22 balls, 50. So Nagy has been having a good day so far. I've been among the runs, as this one is worked towards the onside, straight into the hands of the man at long on, and Cameron Sheikh goes. It's 32 for 3. And
I think that Nagy was very fortunate there. That was a loosener. He was a full delivery. He should have done better with that. He ought to have done better with that. But nonetheless, I think Nagy is saying, I would have slammed the quick fire 50. If I can go on to get maybe about 4 or 5 wickets, I might be in the hunt for man of the match. Although Shima would have blasted a century here. You never know. You never know.
So the procession of the Sheikh continue. We've seen Abdullah Sheikh. We've seen Cameron Sheikh. And, of course, what do you think, Ivor?
Well, I think they would have won the toss, and now I can dearly say they're chasing twice. And I'll say this, I'd rather the soft stuff. So maybe they like the soft stuff. They're sticking with the chasers. So they chase leather in the field, and now they're chasing ones. Some people like the hard stuff. They like the chasers. They're chasing with coke.
So Mohammed Sheikh walks out to the middle. Another Sheikh. Abdullah Sheikh is on 18 not out. It's 32 for 3.
And right now they're really looking shaky. I can tell you that. The Sheikhs are looking shaky.
So the U.S. Open winners over the years, in 2009, it was Washington Tigers. 2010, United Chargers from New York. 2011 and 2012, dominated by Trinidad and Tobago, led by Shazim Babwa. And Zimbabwe usually plays for the Houston franchise. We haven't seen him this year. And in fact, a couple of weeks ago, he was part of the 2X tournament in Texas, so he hasn't showed up here. In 2013, it was Smart Choice out of Houston. In 2014, it was U.S. Tigers led by Sunju Patel. In 2015, Rain was the spoiler. And 2016, that will be decided sometime tomorrow.
Well, I have to get down on Vinard here because I wanted to be the down in Morrison. I wanted to be at the far end in a swimming pool at this time with a microphone.
So it's 32 for 3. They still need a 233 from 80 balls. 7 wicket stands between a win or getting a chase going here. And a tall score in front of Falcons. They came out of apparently Group 3. And of course, Houston Stallions being part of the franchise group, as we call it, Group 1.
And the thing about it, you know, that the crowd are rooting for our neighbors. They're coming out of Orlando. So the few folks that are here right now are rooting for the Orlando Falcons. At one point, someone was asking if they're related to the Falcons in Atlanta, knowing that this is football season, but that is not the case. Right now, they are trying to survive, at least make the Houston team work hard and make them bowl all 20 overs.
So the action continues here. Yogesh Patel, the left-arm leg spinner, will be coming in to bowl to Abdullah Sheikh. It's 32 for 3. Sheikh is on 18. Mohammed Sheikh is yet to get off the mark, and we're about to start over number 8. Still a 233 runs required from 78 balls, and that totals is a total that resembled a test score. Ivor Henry. The only problem here, you only have 77 balls to score 233, and that's the bad part.
Bad for you, but not for the fielding team.
So Falcons would have come out of Group 3, and the ball cut away nicely here by Mohammed Sheikh. So he gets off the mark with 4. A lovely played shot, ball wide and spinning away against the right-hander. A typical left-arm leg spinner, bad ball, too short, too wide.
I think, can we get you at Singh or Ravi Sastry to get to some sixes? Herschel Gibbs should have been here. He was supposed to be here, but he forgot he had to get a U.S. visa to get here. He has a St. Kitts Nevis passport. He thought that would have landed him into these United States. That's not the case.
Certainly, we were gladly looking forward for Herschel Gibbs. Like you mentioned, Ivor Henry, the only batsman to have struck 6 sixes in one international match. And in fact, Herschel Gibbs also has another amazing record. He was on course to be the only batsman, or probably one of the only batsmen to have scored 4 ODI centuries in a row. And he was on 96 not out. They were playing against Bangladesh. The team needed 4. He needed 4. And of course, whether by design or on purpose, the bowler by the name of Alok Kapali ran in a bowler wide that went for 5 wides, and Gibbs was denied the opportunity to have scored 100.
Naughty, naughty, naughty. And by the way, you know, Gibbs is an honorary citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis, having hit those 6 sixes in Warner Park, St. Kitts, during the World Cup.
So 38 for 3, 8 gone. Abdullah Sheikh is on 19. Mohammed Sheikh is on 5. And so 8 overs gone here. Ivor.
Yes, so maybe I should say he's a citizen, but he got it, you know, through, it was given by the government. But you know what I heard? That he actually went to the airport trying to get here, and that when he was denied entry to the plane, saying you do not have a passport. He couldn't pass the security.
So Falcons would have come out of Group 3. Some of the teams in that group, we saw Arkansas Wolfpack, U.S. Flyers, and the UCT. And we look at Group 4, and we see Florida Strikers coming out of that group. The other teams in that group, Wise Turtle, Brooklyn Blitz, and Benza Pharmacy. Out of Group 2, you've got the likes of 22 Yards, who has certainly made it out of that group. Atlanta Paramveers, who should have won their game last night against 22 Yards, but we saw a very exciting game. And also in Group 2, we had California Bears and Seattle Gladiators. So things are going quite slowly here for Falcons. They're chasing a massive score of 264 posted. And if you're just tuned into the broadcast, the news is, if you're Canadian, you will love to hear what happened. 185 posted for the first wicket by Hamza Tariq and Rizwan Chima. Rizwan Chima, of course, slamming 122. And he has made runs all around the world, so it is certainly by no surprise that he was among the runs. He has certainly erased the highest individual score coming into this game here by Rajpar, who got 97, and another wicket goes down here as it appears Mohammed Sheikh.
And like I said,
Abdullah Sheikh goes, so Abdullah Sheikh falls for 20. We'll confirm that with our scorer, but the fact is 40 for 4.
Yes, Neji's trying to put his name amongst the adjudicators. He would have slammed the quick fire 50, and now he has taken 2 wickets. And he has given away just some free ones.
So Ivor, here is a question for you, as someone is asking, whether or not the MVP will get one of those cars tomorrow.
I'll pass that question on. That's above my pay grade. There's no way I can answer that question. Maybe we can summon Samuels. He's a knows-all guy around here. He's the all-arounder. But definitely, that one is above my pay grade. I just have to let that slide by. I'm batting without a helmet, but I'm ducking. Yes, so the batsman takes a long, dreaded walk back to the pavilion. He had hit a real long ball, but not long enough to get over the head of the long off-fielder. So, 4 wickets, 41 for 4. And now we have a change of batter. And
so that happens to be Pawan Kahar. He comes out here with Falcons struggling here at 40 for 4. When you understand the context here, they still need 225 from 69 balls. And like anything else, Ivor, if you were batting here for Falcons, A, what would you do? A, take some batting practice. B, try to get 225 in 68 balls. C, give up. D, all of the above.
All of the above, but prior to that, I think I may have just mailed in the points.
Well, unfortunately, in this tournament, I had a look at the playing conditions, and there's nothing it says about surrendering, nothing about walkover. That will not happen here. And nothing about quitting. 40 for 4.
All right, but I find that the fielding team is a little bit defensive, though. I can tell you that. The field is wildly spread. I think they should be trying to pry out these guys, get some rest, and wait for tomorrow.
So we'll have, later on, we'll get a sense from the organizing committee as to what the crossover will be. Now that we know that Stallions are well on their way for a semi-final berth, the question is, we'll have to wait and see who they cross over to play.
Yeah, yes, so I think they need to up the ante, because they think somewhere along the line, they probably one way it would come into play. They have to position these 5 teams that would have automatically found themselves into the quarterfinals. But I think it's going to come down to some kind of net run weight. So these guys ought to be trying to bowl the Falcons out and try to up the net run weight, perhaps trying to be the number 1 seed.
So it's 43 for 4. Mohammed Sheikh is on 9. Oh, he's bowled. So another wicket falls here. It's 43 for 5. Mohammed Sheikh falls now for 9. And the Falcons perhaps softened up by 264 posted earlier on. No disrespect, but they're beginning to show us that they can't even bat with a 264 posted by Houston Stallions.
I even laughed before he said this. You know when you're under pressure? Do you know where the pressure started? From the scoreboard. Scoreboard pressure, they've given up even before they started the run chase. I thought they should have probably batted I hate when you win a toss and you send someone into bat as if you're free to bat. The wickets looked good. We had a look at it this morning, placid. And today, being the third day, it seemed as if the wicket gotten a little bit more lively. The ball was coming onto the batter, and we would have seen a century, the first one of this tournament, classic, if you ask me. It was real classical. And he must be in contention for man of the match. But rubbing him closely is Neji.
So a sense of where some of the top batsmen are in this tournament. Farhat is on 162. Rizwan Chima is 141. Rohan Mohite is 118. Brian Gale is on 113. And Srimanta Wijeratne is 112. So Sami Siddiq walks out to the middle. 43 for 5. They're chasing a massive score of 264 posted by Stallions, 122 by Rizwan Chima. And we also had some big scores along the way from Hamza Tariq. He got 64 and 51 from Negi. So 3 batsmen plundering some balls here today and being among the runs. Pawan Kahar, the man on strike. And ball driven straight up to the man at extra cover, can't score, and the score remains at 44 for 5.
Yes, we would have put a chokehold for the first 10 overs because we're going to be giving way to Vinod and Shaw after the completion of this over and see if they can bring some good fortunes here to the Falcon.
So a couple of wides there. We'll finish up here as it's 46, 47, 47 for 5. 46 for 5 as we welcome back Shaw and Vinod.
Thanks, Shah, and welcome back. And of course, we've gotten rid of the 2 wicket-taking commentators, so probably it's back to regularly scheduling program now. We'll see some runs. The score 46 for 5, and Sadiq and Kahar out there. Foregone conclusion, really. I think at this point in time, the guys there from the Falcons will be looking to save face as Nikhil Dutta continues the attack. Delivery angle across the batsman. Not much has really turned out there. The pitch still has that a bit of a shine. The ball is not getting a chance to really stop in order to turn. It's really sliding on. Again. This one delivered from the back of the arm, and the fieldsman is coming across. And that's another wicket, is it?
Yes, he got it caught.
Right. Well, after berating the last 2 guys who were on commentary, we immediately strike, Shah. We have joined the wickets column, so it's 46 for 6.
Yes, 46 for 6.
Come on, Shah.
I'm trying to wake up and then trying to catch up this wicket-taking commentators who left earlier. And this is our first wicket. It's a very high task for Falcon to catch up the score that 264 that Houston has put up, and it's all people who have missed the first inning. The highlight of the first inning was Rizwan Chima has scored a century, and Rizwan Chima and Hamza Tariq has a partnership, T20 record partnership of 185.
Well, what you will want to see in a situation like this, for the young guys from the Falcons team. You would want to see some sort of resistance. At least if they can bat out the next 9 overs and 4 balls, it'll be good for them.
Yes, it will be, but I think they are overwhelmed by the star-stud Houston team, which some of them have seen the players on the TV, and now they're playing against them. So there may be a nervous, the breakdown a little bit, or the excitement they're trying to control and trying to motivate themselves that they're playing against a big star like Badri and Chima. And
well, the good thing about it is that there's always a situation where they can learn, and they will take from this experience. And this is what the U.S. Cricket Council, through the U.S. Open, provides for young players. They could take a lot away from this game, despite the fact that they have really been mauled here.
Oh, most definitely, yes. This is one in a lifetime opportunity for them to play with the stars. And obviously, whoever is the player who wants to learn from them, and they will take the tips from this game and work on it. And the season they go and play in their own league.
But again, this one just slightly outside the off stump, cut away there by Sadiq, and by, in fact, it's Derek Carr, and he gets off the mark. Sadiq is now on strike at the end. Is it the end of the over?
It's the end of the over from Nikhil.
End of the over, 49 for 6. So far, Prasad 1 over, 1 for 5, and Dutta 1 over, 1 for 3. 9 overs to go, Shah, and I think that from this point, it's just a matter of survival for these guys. They don't want to get bowled out within the 20 overs. I think there obviously no hope to get to that total.
Yeah, they are just enjoying the game out there at this particular time, I think. And you're correct. They will do their best not to get out, but it will be a very tough task.
At least they can go back as Vinu Prasad strikes the former IPL player Vinu Prasad striking there, pitching that one right up. And Sadiq playing a good old cow swipe and seeing his timbers disturbed. It's now 49 for 7. I tell you, they're no match for the Stallions, but they should show at least a little more application. A poor shot selection has really led to their downfall.
Yes, but what goes through their mind going in there and playing it is one thing, and what we see and what we feel that they should be is another thing. But I think at the same time, their excitement level is high. The captain was there, and he just told me that. He says, it is my life dream that I'm playing against the star player that I watched them on a TV, and just being in the ground with them is my game. And I said, well, you should be worrying about the game that you're going to be playing against them, not just by enjoying yourself. But hopefully, things happens. I think we expected the star bowlers to do their job, and as you know, when the professional comes and play the game, they don't care if it is the what level of game or competition they're playing. They just go out and put their effort and do things what they do professionally.
Well, that is what they call professionalism.
Yes.
And he's bowling immediately. Vinu Prasad is now on a hat trick.
That may be the second hat trick of the tournament if he gets one in the next ball.
Well. It's 49 for 8. And Vinu Prasad, the captain, making up for his misfortune whilst running earlier on. And he has now taken up 2 wickets of 2 deliveries. He has a total of 3 for 5 at this point in time. 49 for 8, the Falcons.
Yeah, 49 for 8, and Sheikh is going in. And let's see if Vinu takes the hat trick.
Well, he's adding pressure, obviously. I'm seeing In fact, if his man is not moving, there's a man at slip. I thought he was going to employ the silly mid off as well, put some pressure onto the batsman. Obviously, basically they have taken the win already. It's a matter of getting a personal milestone now, getting that hat trick.
I think the way that he's bowling out there, I'm kind of surprised that they did not took one short gully there for him because of the edge that might come up, and slip may not be able to get that.
Here comes Prasad. Well flighted delivery appeals to the umpire for a leg before. The umpire is going to have nothing to do with that. He looks very, very disappointed indeed. I'll tell you something. I thought that was a very close call there for the batsman. That delivery pitched up. He was not right forward, and probably in the estimation of the umpires, it may have been going down the leg side.
Or may have an edge.
Yes.
But overall, it's a nice piece of bowling.
Yes, he's using a nice flight.
The car is on the car is on the strike, and let's see.
And this is what you want to see. You want to see some sort of application from these guys. They're young men. They're playing, as you say, against their stars. You said something earlier on that reminded me of the Trinidad and Tobago soccer team, the Soca Warriors. They came up against England in a friendly international. As this delivery is driven away down to the backward point, the forward point boundary, there's a single. And before the game, the Trinidad and Tobago players, as we have come to the end of the over, it's 52 for 8 after 12. The Trinidad and Tobago players actually went up to the English players, and some were seeking autographs. You're going into war with these guys. You don't go to them for an autograph.
Well, that's what is all said, that the amateurs are amateurs, and they are learning from the pros how to fine tune their game and how to bring the professionals into the game. And I think this game provides the same opportunity for the Falcon players to learn from these people here and take the tip. And I hope that after the game, some of these guys goes to Badri and Simmons and stuff like people like that to talk to them about the game and see how they do the game preparation and stuff like this, because they are the key part of the game preparation is the key part of their preparation for the match.
Yes, that's a wonderful point, Zaf. And that is something that, the fact that the tournament is being held here provides for that.
This is a great opportunity for young guy. I remember one of the, if you've probably seen one of the 12-year-old, the fellow, Adam Khan, is running around here, and he's just learning the game. And Nikhil, too, Dakar, and I think he's trying to play onto the offside, and nothing happened. And he met with Sohail Tanvir, and he asked a question. Can you imagine that 13-year-old asked this question?
Well, Dakar has cleared the boundary. He got to the pitch. He's a tall man. He used his reach to good effect there, and just playing through the line. As I was saying before, the spinners are hardly getting any turn on that surface. So it's tailor-made for batting.
Yeah.
You would not think so with the score 59 for 8. You think I'm a madman to say this pitch is tailor-made for batting. But the Stallions got up to 264.
Yeah. So Adam asked Sohail Tanvir, and he says, when you go into the big match and in the stadium, how do you play under the pressure of 20,000 people watching you?
Excellent question indeed.
You know? And I just said to myself, like, how come this 13-year-old kid is asking this question? You know, but I think he's been around quite a lot, and these are the things that the player in today's game, the youth player, should be asking the pro whenever they get opportunity to sit down with them or being with them or around with them, asking this question. And Sohail said to him, he says, when I stepped in the first step into the stadium, I feel myself. I look at the stadium, said there's nobody there. and I just start my bowling. What a good answer.
Yes. You know, you have to find what is comfortable for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you work along that.
Winner is back from the Palm Beach end.
So that's the Palm Beach end. I was wondering.
Yeah, remember when I was at 6, I says gone to Palm Beach. That's what I meant.
Oh. Prasad again. Good line, good length, just on and about the off stump. Doing the right thing at this point in time, Trika and Sheikh, because of the fact that this game was already gone. You don't want to get bowled out inside 20 overs.
That's one thing they don't want to bowl out, but the other thing I think they're enjoying out there, and they're playing the ball, not rushing it up and crazy shots and trying to get out actually, and that's maybe a good positive sign to see.
Nice use of the feet there from Sheikh as he clips this to wide long on, and there is a single for him.
61 for 8, and we are into the 14th over. Nice piece of bowling.
Yes, definitely.
Good line of length there.
Three for 9 so far, Prasad, as he continues. This delivery too straight, and it's put away for a single. Score goes on now to 64.
And we'll see if there's a bowling change or Nikhil's coming back. Well, Ray, I don't know if Nagy bowled today or not.
Well, I think we need to check with our scorer.
Yeah.
Samuel Badri is back into the attack, looking to finish up here. He hasn't been at his best in this tournament, but he's such a good bowler, such a wily campaigner, an experienced man. I'm sure he's looking to come good at the business end of the tournament. Well pitched up delivery, just starting a wrong leg stump, clipped away to mid wicket, no run. One cut away to point. Patrick keeping the batsman quiet. He has conceded just 3 runs of his 14 deliveries.
That's third over. Unfortunately, didn't get any wicket yet. Do I see some little bit of a resistance that he's holding his hamstring?
But he's stretching out.
Yeah.
It seems to be a little bit uncomfortable. And, with the constant cricket, matches packed in every day. This delivery is on the middle stump, turning away from the batsman. He tried to play on the onside, play against the spin, took a leading edge. Luckily for him, it just dropped away from the fieldsman running around from point. Score 65 for 8.
Yeah, I think he's feeling uncomfortable at this point, time to time. See, he's grabbing his hamstring again. I hope that he stays back for the final.
So you're assuming that they're going to win the semi-finals?
Yeah, at this point, that's the way it looks. But you never know until it ends.
So just one delivery to go before we have a change in the commentary position. Lenny and Ivor is going to be back. Sam Badri holds a delivery, asks a polite question. It's as if he didn't want to appeal and he has taken the wicket. So Badri, I think, is immediately going to go off. He did get a breakthrough. He was actually trying to see if he can have completed his spell. And I think at 3 overs, 1 for 4, he's going to walk off. He is going to seek some treatment, and we will get a better picture from him later on in the day, because he will be coming in to do some commentaries for us as well. So we will be able to talk to him, Shah, and get a better appreciation of his problem. The latest score here at the end of over number 15, the Falcons are 64 for 9. They're chasing 265 for victory.
Well, this innings is just about to be wrapped up now. We're in Lenny and yours truly, Ivor Henry, back to just take the last wicket. I think we have to call it as it is. And I'm looking around to see if I see any fat lady, but I hear singing. In the air and away from any fielder, so he was in no danger of getting out there. So total goes up by 1 to 65 for a loss of 9 wickets.
So, Ivor, this match, the only good thing about this game, it has certainly created a couple of records here. One, it could be one of the tallest score, as we have seen in this tournament, 264 posted by Stallions. And the other thing is, could be one of the lowest score for a team dismissed in this series this year. And you've been here since Thursday. I know we had 2 low scores in the stadium below 100, but I don't think it was further than 65.
No, I think by far, I think the lowest score would have been 80 odd. Don't remember it, but this by far is the lowest score so far.
Which simply means the margin of defeat here will be quite large. In fact, they still need 200 runs from 26 balls with 1 wicket standing here. So this match will certainly create or break whatever record had existed in terms of a 264 to 65 on 9 situation as we see today.
Yes.
Additionally, Ivor, it has to be a record, the opening stand of 185 by Hamza Tariq and Rizwan Chima. Not too sure. We don't have all the records to verify that, but it has to be 185 without loss. For the first wicket, has to be a very tall score. I remember a few years ago, Ken Wright got 100 opening batting outside of the stadium, but can't say for sure what was the opening stand. But I do know Ken Wright got 100 in one U.S. Open a couple of years ago.
Well, I'm sitting here and I seem to be very steady, so I'm going to say, since I'm not shaky, I'm going to say I firmly believe that you are absolutely correct in your assessment.
And not too sure what is the lowest score in a U.S. Open game, but 67 for 9 at the moment here has to be ranked as one of the lowest scores in the U.S. Open over the years. So we just want you to get ready for the other games that are coming up. U.S. All-Stars will take on Florida Strikers coming up next. And, of course, 22 Yards will take on Indian Lions at 4 p.m. this afternoon. And Al Masafi will face the Sharks from Miami. And that game is slated to bowl off at 8 p.m. So lots of cricket left for today. And we, like the other days, we'll be going well into the night as this ball is hammered down the ground. And it goes for a maximum here is 73 for 9. So Gaurav Darikar goes up to 20. Shaw is on 1. And it's 73 for 9 here. It's Falcons tackling Houston Stallions, and Stallions posting 264, Ivor. And the margin of defeat here looks to be a very, very large one here, as 192 runs still remains.
Ominous indeed, yes. It seemed to be a one-sided affair. We have to call it as we see it. We don't have a dog in the fight. Dylan does. We're expecting to see him later today in the commentary booth. So we just have to call it as we see. That's a lovely on drive, but gets nothing for his effort.
So 73 for 9 here. Darikar is on 20 not out. Abhishek Shaw is on 1. And ball hammered down the ground. They'll pick up a couple of runs here at least. In fact, they settle for 1. And take the score up to 74 for 9 here at the Central Broward Regional Park.
So a little bit of resistance here for the 10th wicket. I can't say much to the delight of anyone, but at least they're praying for pride, at least here. And he's bowled him. I just said it, the commentator's curse. I just said they're praying for pride, trying not to be bowled out within the 20. But that delivery was pitched and pitched well, and it knocked the off-stump clean out of the ground. Handshakes are going up everywhere with the fielding team, and now the Falcons are going out to shake hands with the winners. So as we said earlier, the winner stays and the losers go home. We're into the knockout phase of this tournament, quarterfinals. We still have another 3 games to go. We're looking for another 3 teams to make it 4. And then tomorrow will be the grand finale, 2 semifinals and the finals. And amongst that, we're going to be having a car show, come on down, and then the presentation.
So Stallions win massively here by 190 with 19 balls remaining in a T20 match. And they've certainly booked their place into the last 4 semi-final bound for them. And so congratulations to Houston Stallions by winning by a very big margin here, winning by 190 runs, helped by Rizwan Chima, who slammed 122, and supported by 65 from Hamza Tariq. So we'll turn it over quickly to Ivor Henry, and then, of course, over to Ras Trini, and then we'll get ready for the second game.
Well, before that, we'll have the presentation. And while the scorers get their act together to get the other team and the other game underway, we'll keep you company here somewhat. So, well, I'm going to say it here and now. There was absolutely nothing wrong with the pitch. And for the demise of the Falcons, I have to give credit to the fielding team. So the Houston boys have booked the passage into the semifinals. That's slated for tomorrow. So they have the rest of the day off. They got their first game. They got it out of the way. And now they have to see where they're seeded, whether they will play the opening game tomorrow or the second game. But whatever it is, they know they are into tomorrow's game, the final day, Sunday. We started here on Thursday, had a full day's playing. Friday, which is Black Friday here in these USA, we saw the full quarter of matches being played. And now today, we're on the way to the semifinals. We're into the quarterfinals. So for now, we're going to take a break and we're going to wait for the presentation momentarily. Stand by.
I will assist him. Yeah, you should have. No, no. Yeah, you can hold it, yeah. Act.
Can we center ourselves on the banner, please? Thank you. Take a step back. You ready? Turn down channel 7 and 8 so that we don't get, we don't get the ambient light, please. Turn down channel 7 and 8. Stand by. Quickly, quickly. Stand by. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I got on audio. 3, 2.
Well, welcome to the presentation ceremony after quarterfinal 1. And let me immediately say a big congratulations to the Houston Stallions. Let's hear it for them. Of course, and they came up against the Falcons. The Falcons, of course, one of the more inexperienced teams. They actually played out of the main venue. They were here today to take part, and I'm sure they're going to take a lot away from the game, despite the fact that they would have lost, and was a huge loss. I think that they would still take so much away from this game, playing with some of the players that they would have only seen before on television. So let's also hear it for the Falcons. Of course, batting first, the Houston Lions, they racked up 264, a wonderful opening partnership of 185, which is actually the highest opening partnership. And Rizwan Chima and Hamza Tariq broke the first wicket partnership of 191 that was held by Martin Guptill and Kane Williamson of New Zealand. So that's very historic indeed. And coming out of that, we have our man of the match, none other than Rizwan Chima. Rizwan collects his man of the match award, a player's agent, someone tournament. Rizwan, if I can just get a short word in with you. What do you think on ball one? Really good, right? Big. More. It's Well, our man of the match, Rizwan Chima, won the performance 122, stay ESPN 3 as their semi-final quarter coming up in about 10 minutes' time.